Hi, my name is John Kim, and welcome to my channel. So in this talk, I want to cover the very fundamental question which every beginner who seeks the truth is curious about. And it's the question, how do you meditate? It's been raining a lot these days in South Korea, so the weather's not that bright. Okay, so first, let's touch upon this fundamental question. Why do people meditate? And how do they meditate? Well, all religions and different teachings which are not religions, they have different ways of meditating. But those ways are not meditating for self-realization. Some people, they meditate to seek a God. For example, a Christian or a Muslim would say when they pray, it's meditation. But is it really for the one who seeks awareness? I doubt it. It's different. So many people call those kind of actions meditations. But it is different when you are seeking awareness. The practice is different. So you have to discern other religions and other teachings which tells you to meditate, and you have to know what seeking the awareness is and their teachings of meditation. It is a totally different method and practice. So these religions and teachings which other people do, apart from those who are practicing self-realization, they might consider maybe meditation as focusing on something, or maybe praying to a God. Sometimes they say praying to a God is also meditation. Okay, for them, they can call it meditation if they want. They're free to do so. And some of them, they torture themselves, so they suffer, and they call that also a meditation. Sometimes they give charity and do nice things in society, and they could call that a meditation also. Yes, there's many different kinds of meditation. But these are not the meditations used for self-awareness. So if you're practicing self-awareness, you should know what is the correct meditation for self-awareness. And let me explain. So let me explain why people meditate. Okay. As I said before, all religions and different sorts of teachings, they would meditate for different reasons. I mean, the whole purpose would be different. Some, if they're praying to God, they'll be praying to get closer to God, to reach God, or have a relationship with God. And for other teachings, which are not about self-awareness, would be to get close to nature, to call the spirits, because some believe there are spirits in this world going around. And some would meditate just so they feel comfortable and they're happy and they're stress-free by focusing on something apart from them. So there's many different reasons why someone would meditate. But for self-realization, it has to do with none of those things. None of those things. It does not have to do with gods or making you feel comfortable or talking to deities and ghosts and spirits. It has nothing to do with that. So just so you know what self-realization is really all about. Don't get confused. So, when it comes to other religions and other different kinds of teachings, what you'll realize is that they all have a goal. Okay? Like all things. Even self-realization does have a goal. But their goals is it's either an object, okay? It's either a god, or it's either a spirit, some kind of entity which is there, or it's about them, right? It's also about their ego. But this teaching of self-realization, of awareness, it has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with a god, a object, grasping hold onto something. And even of letting go. And it has nothing to do with you. There is a goal, but at the same time, there is no goal. And you will only realize this when you realize that you are the awareness itself. And when I say you are the awareness itself, it doesn't mean you, this body, the one with the name and the job. I'm not talking about all of that. Even your feelings are not you. Your senses are not you. So, to be self-realized is to be established in your true position, which is none of those things. So it has nothing to do with God, it has nothing to do with a religion or a belief. You don't believe in anything, okay? And it's to be established and know that all of these things which appear, they appear and disappear. And you are that which remains as the constant seeing observer, the witness. These are all the same thing. It all means the same thing. But the reason why I say all of this at once is so you don't hold on to one concept. It could be the awareness, it could be the observer, it could be the seeing, the witness. It's all the same thing. So in this teaching, it's also very important not to hold on to anything, not to hold on to any concept, whatever it may be. So what is the method of meditation for those who are seeking their true nature, the awareness itself? Now, many teachers have different methods also. Even in this field, many people, they have different methods of teaching meditations. So you can do those, doesn't matter. You can do those teachings, whatever it may be. I'm not saying any of them are wrong or anything like that. There's no such thing. It could be, you don't even have to meditate. Okay? There's also ways of self-realization without meditation. I'll explain that as well. So many teachers, they have different ways of meditation, and you can look those up online about them, because there's so many. In this video, I will explain to you my way of meditation. And you can do it if you want, you don't have to, it's up to you. Now, the way I would meditate as a beginner, okay, because there is different levels to this. There are those who are beginning, and there are those who are more advanced. And like how many levels are there? There's no such thing as how many levels. So many different teachers will say there's different levels. And some might say there's 3 levels. Some might say there's 10. Some might say there's 100. But that all depends on their way of teaching. Okay? But me, the way I teach is I tell you there is no levels, but there is a beginner and advanced. Just 2 things. Advanced, we don't know. Okay? The beginner is someone who has just come to the start of this subject, and they have no idea and no clue. So they do have to learn from the beginning about this subject than somebody who's advanced, right? So there is a different level. So this is what I'm saying. There's a beginner and there's advanced. As a beginner, close your eyes and just remain as you are. And this would be best done when you are in your room, when it's not so noisy. You could put some of that earplugs so it won't be so noisy within you. And don't listen to any music or anything like that. Just stay in some place which is quiet, like maybe your room. Your family could be outside and they could move around and speak, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's not going to be too noisy, right? So in your room, you would you could sit on a chair, okay, or you could sit on your bed. But I really wouldn't prefer you to lie down because you might fall asleep, okay? So just sit down, okay? The whole purpose of meditation is not sitting down. I mean, this is my teaching, okay? Other people, some teachers would say you have to sit down. You have to. So if you want to do that, you can do that. But my teaching, it doesn't matter. You could actually be standing up and walking about. But because you're a beginner, I'm telling you to sit down so you could relax. You could relax, but you wouldn't be falling asleep. Okay? Now, as a beginner, it would be a good idea to close your eyes. Okay? So it's more easier for you as a beginner. And when you close your eyes, just remain as you are. Just remain as you are. And some teachers might say, focus in your breath and these kind of things. But in my teaching, I want to tell you, don't try to force your mind to focus on the breath. Don't force your mind to focus on the breath. Just remain as you are, okay? And as you just remain as you are, within you, you will get various thoughts. They will arise. Okay? They will appear and disappear. This thought, that thought. Okay, so we are always focusing on thought, okay? And maybe you would focus on the breath. Maybe it would happen because maybe you read it somewhere and you have that habit of focusing on your breath. Maybe. Allow it to happen. It's okay. You start focusing on your breath. But whether you have thoughts arise or you're focusing on your breath or you're focusing on your heartbeat, whatever it may be. Okay? Maybe your skin on your fabric, your attention is going there and you're focusing there. Okay, so whatever it may be, just remain as yourself and just notice it. Just remain as the observer. The observer, just remain as yourself, but don't attach to those thoughts. Okay, just observe them. When you observe these thoughts, the thoughts, they'll have feelings and emotions, the whole baggage. I call it the whole baggage because I don't want to keep on saying feelings, emotions, sensations. It's too long. So in my videos, I want to use that word a lot and I hope you understand. It's going to be the word baggage, okay? It's like a bag and it has all of those things in it. So I'm talking about that bag. So every thought you have, when you observe it closely, it comes with so much baggage. Even sensations has baggage. Okay? Everything. I mean, thoughts have baggage, feelings have baggage too, and the whole thing has baggage. So you will notice that, and just notice it. Don't be attached to it. Don't cling to it. Just observe. Just observe. Don't observe it as the observer, okay? Because there's no observer. There's only the observing is happening. Just like thoughts happening, observing is happening. Okay? Just remain as the observing. It's a habit for me to say the observer also, but you realize there is no observer. There's also the word awareness. Okay? You're not the awareness. You could say that you are the awareness because it just feels more comfortable to say. It's all just play of the words, okay? But realize that there is no awareness, okay? Just being aware is happening. Just being aware is happening. You are aware of your thoughts. There is no you. There is no you who is aware. Just awareness is happening. Awareness of thoughts. Seeing of thoughts. Observing of thoughts. Witnessing the thoughts. It's just happening. So just remain there when you meditate. You could call it a practice, a method, it doesn't matter. But there's something about meditation which I want to tell you now, because we are in the subject. Meditation is a practice, or you could call it a method, but at the same time, it's not. Okay, so it's two things. It's a practice and it's not a practice. As a beginner, you could call it a practice. Okay? So don't think of doing this practice as something bad, because some teachers I've heard say don't practice. And just my suggestion is it's not a good thing to do. It is good to practice. Okay? Maybe they might say don't practice for different reasons, because you will realize that there's no such thing as practice. But if that is the reason they're saying that to a beginner, I think that is it's not right. Okay, it's too much ego involved in that, because you should realize that the student doesn't know any of these things, so you shouldn't teach them something really advanced. Okay, because they'll get confused and they'll give up. Right? So I don't think that's it's a good idea to do that. So practice and practice. Practice is good. Now, this meditation which I'm explaining to you can be done anytime you want. Okay? You could do it now. You could do it every day. You could do it every day. You could do it every hour in each day. It doesn't matter. You could do it anytime you want. You just observe your mind. Okay? And because you're a beginner, I'm telling you, close your eyes. But if you want, you can do it by opening your eyes. If you can do it. If it's easy for you to do. But if it's not, close your eyes and do it. Okay? And the key is to do it constantly. Is to always do it. Do it regular and do it as much as you want. And the more you do it, it's better. Just always being aware, always seeing, always observing. Anything that appears and disappears within you. Okay? And I want you to know that when you live life as a beginner, when you live life as a beginner, you go to your job, you speak with your family, and you have relationships. Sometimes don't meditate as a beginner, okay? Because you will start to act strange, and people around you will notice this. They'll notice that you're acting strange. Because you see, when you start observing your thoughts and all this baggage, which I mentioned before, there might be some kind of detachment. happening within yourself, and that may reflect outside to your job or to your relationships. Maybe you're gonna say, look, I'm not gonna go to my job anymore, or I'm gonna skip a day, I don't care about it. Don't do that. That is really the wrong way of doing it, and you'll know this. Okay, it's wrong. It's all very natural to work and pay your bills and pay for the water. It is all very natural thing, and you should be doing it. Because if you don't do it, okay, look, think of it this way. Imagine you're not making any money, okay? Because you're in this fantasy of, I'll call it guru land. Okay, you're into that. You're taking this whole teaching into a whole form of culture, and you're being brainwashed by it. Then what will happen is that you might not work, okay, and you might not even eat. And you know what's going to happen? You'll probably starve to death. But will you starve to death? You won't. You're going to go and buy something to eat because you're hungry. Afterwards, you're gonna know that, oh, I can't do this. I've got to go eat something. So look, all of this is a waste of time. All of this is a waste of time, and it's unnecessary. Okay, just live your life the way you normally do. And while you're living in it, if you want to, observe your thoughts, okay, and don't fall into the whole baggage. So what I mean is, for example, imagine you're thinking of your thoughts and also while you're working, okay? When you have to do something, don't meditate, as I said. Do your work. And sometimes, if you want to meditate, maybe there's some thoughts appear, and you want to meditate, and you want to observe on that. Observe it. But if that thought is saying like some things which conflict with your daily life, no, don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Imagine there's a thought that arises, and it says, go and shout at your manager, okay? And there's another thought that arises, and it says, no, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't shout at your manager. There's another thought that arises, and it says, don't listen to the one who says you shouldn't do that. I'm gonna discard that thought, okay? Because I'm just gonna observe it. But my feeling is that I'm gonna go shout at my manager. So then you go and shout at your manager and see what happens. It's not gonna be good, okay? So you're not in that level in the beginning to discern what is the right thing to do, okay? You don't have that wisdom yet. So as a beginner, just observe and just live your life the way you do, okay? In the beginning, you might have thoughts like, I'm gonna give everything away, because this is all thoughts. Okay? I don't want to be attached to any thoughts, and I'm gonna give all my money away in my house, for example, and I'm gonna live in the mountains. It's a very stupid thought. Don't do that. Very silly. Okay? As I said, just live your life. Okay, save your money. Okay, don't give your money away to anybody or your house. Okay, don't break any relationships. Don't get divorced. Okay, live your life the way you normally do, and just practice this. So the more you stay as the awareness, the more you will be established as the awareness itself, and it will take time. And for everyone, it will be different. Some people, it would probably take like a week. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen really quickly. It could happen while you're listening to me. Who knows? Who knows when it will happen? Some people a month, some people a year, some people years. Okay, maybe 10 years. Maybe some people they will never realize. Okay? And also many people will give up. Many people will start in this path, on this journey for realization, and they will give up. And also, many people will they will think they are self-realized. They will think and imagine that they are the awareness, and they will perceive awareness the wrong way. That will also happen. And you could see that in cults, like for example, other religions and other teachings. They learn it the wrong way and they make a like a society out of it, a cult. So even in this subject, okay, some people they take it the wrong way, and they have a fantasy that they're self-realized, and um, and they even teach other people about self-realization, but in the wrong way. And also there are people, especially in this country, who do that, and many of them they talk about gods, you know. Some people, there's also there's also Buddhists in this country who seem to talk about self-realization, but they're not. They're talking about the God, and they're talking about the afterlife, reincarnation. There's no such thing as reincarnation in this teaching. Maybe for your teaching there is. Maybe some other religions there is, and I totally respect it. It's okay. You can believe in that if you want, doesn't matter. But my teaching, I'm telling you, my teaching, okay, not some other gurus, because everyone's teaching is different. In my teaching, I'm telling you, there's no such thing as reincarnation. There's no spirits and there's no God, there's no afterlife, nothing like this. There's no belief, there's no book. So you're meditating, and you've been meditating for a long time, and you're now established in your true self, right? And you're a self-realized person. Well, as you know, you'll not stop meditating. You'll be meditating with your eyes open, okay? Because as I said before, begin with your eyes closed, and when you feel comfortable, open your eyes and see your thoughts. Just remain there as the observer, nothing else, nothing more than that. So simple. Okay. There's no philosophy to learn. I mean, if you want to learn philosophy and all this stuff, do it. But I tell you, it's better if you don't. It's better if you do it after you're self-realized, because if you go into those things before you're self-realized, it's going to confuse you even more, and it'll take more longer. There's a big possibility that it'll take more longer. It might not, okay? But there's a really big possibility that it'll take longer for you to realize who you really are, and you might also give up. It'll be too much for you. You'll give up. Actually, this teaching is so simple. I've said everything right now. I didn't hide anything from you. Nothing. But the rest of it, like philosophy and all these other things, this kind of metaphors and stories and all that, it's good just for fun, but you have to be careful, okay? Some of them will lead you into a path of confusion, and this really simple teaching will seem like a whole lot of work in which you will give up. There's a big possibility you will give up. So my advice is, don't go through all of that stress, okay, and suffering. You don't have to. As I said before, just live your life, and moments in your everyday life, just observe. And what you'll notice is that, you see, you're not the one who is observing. Observing is happening naturally. And as you observe more and more and more through repetition, okay, and that's the key word, repetition. Because of the repetition, you start to observe more and more and more, until a time will come where you will keep on observing everything, okay? And you will know by experience, because this teaching is all about experience. It's not about a belief or a fantasy, imagination, nothing like that. By experience, you will know that this is you. And once you're established in your true position as yourself, but not this human body with a name and a job and the baggage, not that, When you're established in this true position, you for sure 100% know that this is it. You don't have to ask anybody. In the beginning, you might ask, but just don't ask because it means you don't know. If you're asking somebody if you are the awareness because you're having this experience, it means you don't know yet. Okay? Only you will know. Only you will know. People who look at you from the outside, like your family or friends, they won't see the enlightened one. Okay, this person is now enlightened, I can see it. No. It's only you who will know it internally, and you from the outside will just look like a normal person. Just like me. I look like a normal person, right? So that's gonna happen. And I told you before that in the beginning, meditation is a practice for you. You know, you're going to practice meditation. It's okay, it's good. You're going to do the practice. But as you do more and more of the practice, you realize just that there is no practice. You're actually just being yourself. Meditation becomes you. Okay, meditation becomes the awareness. It becomes the observing. So at that stage, you're now in the advanced stage. You realize that. At that stage, if somebody asks you, is there such a thing as a practice? Now, if you are attached to that ego thought which is appearing, which is okay, you know, I don't care. It's natural, you know. I'm not criticizing that. You see, I don't criticize the ego because it's all natural, right? If you go out to the world and say, I'm an awakened being, it's okay. For me, it's okay, all right? Because I totally understand it's natural. And some people, they say, no, you shouldn't do that because that's the ego. It doesn't matter. Well, if it's the ego, then maybe you shouldn't even go to work because that's also the ego. Maybe you shouldn't eat also because that's also the ego, all right? Maybe you shouldn't pay your bills and have a relationship and get married because that's also the ego. So what is the ego? The ego is natural, okay? So if somebody who is awakened, how should they act? They should act like they're not awakened. Does the awareness have a certain way of acting? Okay. Does the awareness have a body like a human being and they act in a certain way with a certain personality? No, that's not true. No such thing. So, when you're established in your true position, you'll realize that you have been meditating all along. Okay? And you could tell other people to practice meditation or not to practice, it doesn't really matter. Okay, but my advice is that if you tell people not to practice and there's no practice, then they really won't practice and they won't achieve what you have achieved. You see, you went through something called practice in the beginning, but other people, they shouldn't. I don't think that's the right way of teaching, You see, there is a difference between being realized and having the skill to teach. But if you're getting confused between the two, it means you're not skillful yet. That's the way I see it. You're making it more difficult for the student. The teacher might have good qualities, they might have a good heart. Okay, I totally understand. But you should have compassion. Okay, you should help the student awaken much faster. Okay, you shouldn't make him give up because so many people give up, and you shouldn't be in your own fantasy as the teacher. You shouldn't. You have to look at it the way it is, allow it to be. Practice or not, it is all natural. Okay, but if for you the student suffers and leaves this teaching, then maybe for you it might be nothing. Maybe for the teacher it might be, I don't care. It doesn't matter if he leaves. No, I think then what's the whole purpose of teaching? Why are you there teaching? So if you want to teach, if the teacher wants to teach, he has to teach in the right way. And there is a right way and a wrong way. In my opinion, there is. Okay? Just like food and poison. Would you eat the food or take the poison? Of course you would take the food, not the poison. So you shouldn't give poison to the student. if you're a good teacher. If the teacher is going to give poison to the student, then what is the whole purpose of teaching? There's no purpose for that. So as for meditation, that's about it. You become what you practice. You remain as the awareness itself. And you live this life as a person in this dream. I call it a dream. This is a dream world. This is a world which is within the awareness. I could say it's you because you are the awareness itself. You have made everything possible. You are the creator and the destroyer, but you're not attached to any of it. It's just happening. And you will realize that life will be more peaceful and more calm. Everything is now seen. Nothing can escape from you. You are the neutral one. The nature of the self is kind, is simple, and is not attached and is not detached. It allows everything to be as it is. Everything in this world is nature. The cars, see, this car is nature, these buildings are nature, everything is nature. You don't have to go to nature. There's nature here, you are that, you are that. Here, there's no such thing as here, there's no such thing as location, okay? Whether you're here or there, that is all the awareness. You will realize that. And so, because I'm talking about a meditation, this is the subject. Meditation will cease to exist and you will remain as yourself. And that is how I am teaching meditation to you. So whether you want to do it this way or other way, it's really up to you. But this is how I see it. It's something very simple. You don't have to read lots of books about it. Just by this video, I have explained everything. And if you're curious about anything, you can email me or write in my comments if my comments are turned on, because I might turn them off for this kind of teachings. So who knows? I hope you have learned something, and I hope if you do as I say and meditate, even today you can do it. You'll realize to who you really are, and your life will have no more suffering. Even if suffering arises, you can choose to do them or not to do them. You'll have that power. You'll have that choice because you can see it now. Before you didn't know. Before you thought you were the suffering. You were the hate, you were the jealous, you were the envy, you were the happiness, you were the kindness. You thought you were all of those things. But now you know that you're none of those things. After you go through meditation, after you go through observing and realizing who you really are. Such a beautiful weather today. I love the rain and the clouds. It's beautiful. I've always loved it since I was young. Maybe because when I was living in the Middle East, it didn't have much rain. And so whenever I see the stormy clouds, I was always waiting for the rain. Always. And I love it when it's raining a lot. Like it's really heavily raining. So anyways, today I was talking to you about how to meditate, and I hope it really helped you out. Meditate as much as you want, but know that meditation in the end of the day is just observing. Just observing. So as I always say, just observe. Remain as yourself. And when I say remain as yourself, it means remain as the awareness. Just remain as the observing. Just observe. Keep on doing that. That's meditating. It's actually the same thing. Meditating and observing is the same thing. So in a way, I could tell you, don't meditate and just observe. Same thing, right? Just replace the word and it's actually the same thing. So just you know that in this teaching, there's a lot of play with the words, but it actually means the same thing. And that's actually good. I think that's a good thing, because if one always uses one word, then the mind, the student, will think of that as a concept. For example, if I say you're the awareness, you'll take awareness as a concept. Okay, and that's not a good thing. You have to, I don't want to use the word detached, because then you start detaching on everything, which is also not the way. As a student, you would maybe detach as a practice. As a practice to know that what you observe is not permanent, and that's the only reason. Afterwards, you can attach or detach, it doesn't matter. It just happens naturally. You're not the one who is attaching or detaching. You'll realize that. Just like your breathing is happening naturally, just like your heart is beating naturally, just like your thoughts are appearing and disappearing naturally, just like you are being aware naturally, just like the clouds are here and it's gonna rain naturally. Everything is natural. Everything is natural. You're not the doer. You're not the one who is aware. Awareness is happening. Awareness is happening. If thoughts arise, thoughts arising is happening. If hate arises, hate arising is happening. Everything is happening. Same as awareness. Awareness is happening. But remain as the awareness. Remain as the awareness. Because as the awareness, you can perceive all these things, you see, and that's how you can discern who you are and your thoughts. You are your thoughts, okay? You are your feelings, you are all of these things. But you cannot discern if you're attached to those things. When I say attached, I don't mean don't get involved. That's not what I mean. What I mean is when you observe it. Don't be the thought. Don't be the feeling, just observe. Of course, you have to pay your bills and go to work and do all of that. Yeah, so do that. Okay, when you have a thought of that you have to sell a product in your company, sell it. Be attached. It's okay. Sell that product, make money, have a family, buy things just like regular people, how you did before. Just live like that. It's natural. All of that is natural. This is my point of view. Some people might say it's not natural, okay? But I don't see it that way. I see that everything is natural. Okay, so this is the way I see it. Everything is natural. You can meditate if you want. You don't have to meditate. It's up to you. There's another way of self-realization, which I could have forgotten, but I remember now, so I'm telling you. It's by just listening. Just listening to the teacher, okay? Or the teaching. Okay, you could watch YouTube videos, doesn't matter. You just listen to it all the time. As much as you can, and put your heart in it. Don't just listen and forget about it. Okay? And when I say listen, you see, you're not the one who controls listening. Listening, hearing is happening, listening is happening. It's happening automatically. Like, for example, if I tell you, can you stop listening? You won't be able to do that. Can you stop seeing? Keep your eyes open and stop seeing? You won't be able to do that. If I tell you, okay, close your eyes and do you now stop seeing? No, that's not possible. Okay, even if your eyes are closed, you're still seeing. All right? You're still seeing. You're seeing all the time. It's happening. So remain there. Remain there as the awareness, because from there you can see everything. Okay? Don't be your feeling. Right? In the beginning, know that your feelings come and go. Okay? But that awareness is happening, and it's always there. Right? Everything comes and go, but that awareness is always there. So when awareness happens, you'll be able to see your thoughts and all of that. And sometimes it won't happen. Okay, sometimes you'll be involved in that feeling and thoughts. But you see, the more you practice, okay, and when I say practice, what I'm saying is to observe. Okay, remain as you are. Okay, remain as you are and observe. The more you do that, the more you will become what you already are. You are that. Okay, and the more it will happen, the more you'll observe more and more and more, and that power will be so strong, and you'll realize that that's really you. Okay, but sometimes you'll know that you have to maybe call your friends, okay, or you want to watch a movie, and you'll go there, the attention will go there. Okay, but most of the time it'll come back. It's not coming back, you already are there. Okay, but you have forgotten yourself. That's it, you have forgotten yourself for a while, but you'll always come back to your true self. And whenever there's maybe problems in your life in which you have to make decisions and things like that, you'll come back to yourself, okay, which you already are. And from that point of view, you will look at that thought and you'll make decisions from that position as the awareness. So that's actually a really good thing, because you're not so attached to that thought. Okay, you won't make much mistakes than before. Before, you would have maybe believed your thought really quickly and reacted really quickly, and maybe you would have said, I feel this is right, you know, I have a feeling, and you'll do as what your feeling is telling you to do, and you'll do that, and you'll realize, oh, I made a mistake. Okay, so you say you will decide on doing that, and you know it's a mistake. Okay, you'll deliberately do that mistake, and then you'll say, oh, it's a mistake. Like you're contradicting each other, yourself, your thoughts. Okay, because you're not your thoughts. Okay, but when you think you're your thoughts, you'll say, okay, I will do my thoughts, and the thought that it's a mistake is also me. But remain as the one who is aware of all of this. Even if you do make mistakes, remain as the one who is aware of observing that you have a thought that, oh, I made a mistake. Always try to remain there. And the more you remain, the better. That's self-realization. To realize who you really are, that you're not your thoughts and all that baggage. Okay, you're not any of that. You are that which is observing, seeing, and aware. Okay, that's it. That's the teaching. And the more you do it, the better. And the reason why I keep on repeating these same things over and over again, is because that's what the student needs to hear. The student needs to hear repetition over and over again. Because I'm helping you. I'm helping you to be established, and reminding you to do that, and reminding you who you really are. Okay? So thank you for watching this video. See you again. Bye bye.